Hello everyone, guys. I'm very glad to see you again. I thank you for being here. It incredibly energizes me just to share these thoughts with you. And today we will talk in particular about regret and control. And these are all concepts that are actually interconnected. Regret, decision-making, making choices, control. These are all very interconnected things. And today, in this video, I will explain to you why you don't decide anything here, why you don't act the choice, why there is no choice. And there is at the same time, and in general, when I realized this, guys, I felt such an incredible relief. Life became so much easier for me. I just want you to feel it. Let's go. Regret about the wrong choice. Did I choose correctly? Am I right? Did I say it right? Did I do it right? Did I respond correctly to that person? Did I move to the right city? Did I enroll in the right university? Did I marry the right woman? A huge number of questions that make us suffer. I myself was such a person for a very long time. Firstly, I always wanted to please everyone. I always wanted to be a good girl. I always wanted to be an excellent student. God forbid making a mistake. I spent my whole life trying to get top grades. I have a red diploma, a blue medal. The question is, did it help me in life? I'll say right away, spoiler, no. Rather the opposite. And this perfectionism, it just wouldn't let me rest. I couldn't make a mistake. Therefore, I spent so much time and energy on the decision-making process. And most importantly, I had no energy left for the actual task. For making the choice, somehow I still managed to stretch my energy reserves. But what happened afterward also required immediate action, and I simply had no strength left. I didn't care anymore. Perfectionism is also a concept that is very much related with this decision-making. Choice, suffering from the supposedly wrong choice, and so on. But let's go in order. I won't explain perfectionism separately. Unfortunately, about the wrong choice, I will now explain to you why it makes no sense. And even more so, it's incredibly funny, guys. So the thesis is this: you are not making decisions. You are taking on too much. Relieve yourself of this responsibility that there is supposedly some doer who sits and makes decisions, who chooses, this is right, this is wrong. Now I will choose the right one and I will not choose the wrong one. Why? Reason number one, as we know, our rights and wrongs, our references for decision-making are directly linked to our informational accumulations. As I have already explained in this video, I will now provide a link. Informational accumulations that are conditioned by one body, one life, are insignificantly small compared to the objectivity of reality. They have nothing to do with objectivity at all. Therefore, the concept of good-bad is purely relative. Especially if you are in a new environment, especially if you are making a decision that you have never made before, especially if you are doing something you have never done before. You cannot, within your own little box, objectively evaluate this decision as right or wrong. You cannot know, or rather not you, but your mind. And we are incomprehensible. We do not understand why you are living through this scenario right now. Let's start with Bada. I love science, despite the fact that it changes every second and is relevant under strictly defined circumstances at a strictly defined moment. Let's remember what it was like 100 years ago when people were treated with bloodletting. But never mind, that's not the point right now. I will present a scientific fact so that people understand, especially those who are skeptical. There is an experiment, world-renowned by Benjamin Elibet, about the fact that our conscious mind does not make any decisions. What is our conscious mind, our intellect? Let's call our conscious mind the intellect. It does not make decisions, but merely registers the decision that has been made. An experiment was conducted in the 1980s with a wonderful person named Benjamin Libet, during which people had to raise or lower their wrist at a certain moment. And throughout this entire experiment, it was recorded that initially the decision is made by the subconscious, several hundred milliseconds. before this decision is registered by the conscious mind, that is, our subconscious knows before anything actually happens. Before we realize that we have made this decision by several hundred milliseconds, just based on this scientific experiment, please relieve yourself of the responsibility that your mind is doing something. The mind merely registers. The second point that must be taken into account, if we step a little aside into metaphysics, away from science, we remember that we are not the body, not a person, we are something greater. We are a vast consciousness that encompasses all events, situations, probabilities, material and immaterial processes. Everything that can and cannot be imagined, that is us. We are like an ocean. It's incorrect to say ocean because an ocean is also limited by certain boundaries. Imagine that it is a limitless, infinite ocean that is eternally infinite. And here's what happens. You, like a drop from this ocean, because we are all made of the same thing, it's easy to verify. Just get close to any surface. You will see that this table, this microphone, that I and you, we are made of the same thing. Everything you see now, within this picture, everything that is now being realized, experienced, evaluated, is a single process. This is the very ocean, the acting entity, the observed events, situations, material and indelible emotions, processes. All of this is experienced together in one moment. A single instant is evaluated and completed. All of this happens in a single instant. This is the very ocean I was talking about. And now you have separated your mind within the framework of a single personality. Here is a small piece of this consciousness, a tiny drop separated from the ocean, jumped out of the ocean, and now it's like, okay, I'm going to make a choice now. Is it an illusion that you are making a choice? Proven by science, by the very experiment I just mentioned. There are many such experiments. And on a day-to-day level, it's also easy to verify. You are not making a choice. I will prove it to you now. You just need honesty here. Maximum, you sit down, you don't calm down. For this, you need to be as calm as possible. And for this, you need to have maximum concentration, let's say. And now we will try to verify this even on a day-to-day level. That is, let's conduct a small practice. And within this practice, I hope you will see what I am talking about now. Let's do it together. You are watching this video now. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Surely there are some thoughts you are thinking about right now. Something might have happened at work, something with the kids, something in the family, something in your personal life, and so on. Let's try not to think about it for now. For the next 2 to 3 minutes, we will try leave all these worries aside. Otherwise, you simply won't be able to see what I'm talking about right now. You need maximum concentration, maximum calmness, and maximum attentiveness. In other words, you need to direct your attention to what I'm about to talk about. Let's sit. Let's close our eyes calmly. And pay attention to how your thoughts come. Pay attention to this process itself. How they appear. You notice that they appear not exactly out of nowhere, but they arise. Surely you've already heard the comparison to the sky? Yes, you see. Clouds floating across the sky. You can compare your thoughts to clouds. One comes, one goes, then another thought comes, and perhaps it attaches to the previous ones, completing its cycle. Across the sky passes another, a third, a fourth. That is, it's not a chain of thoughts that follow one after another. And now I have a question for you. Do you know what your next thought will be? This is a very serious question. Do you know what Your next thought will be, to answer this question, you really need to sit with your eyes closed and observe the process of thoughts arising, to see that there are gaps between them. For some people, by the way, the gaps are very small. Their thoughts just flow in an endless stream. Oh, I need to pick up the kids. Oh, I have school there. Oh, I need to prepare dinner there. I need to do this. I need to do that. That is constantly, and moreover, the thoughts are completely random, and just their speed of appearance is cosmic. It's very difficult to track where they come from. And that's why I said at the beginning that you need to calm down. Sit down, inhale, exhale together. Calmed. Only then can you see the process of a thought appearing. And the process of a thought appearing is such that you don't know your next thought. What do you think this means? If you don't know your next thought, it practically means that your mind just registers, assigns very quickly in the ongoing process and gives an evaluation. And all this happens in a fraction of a second. That is, it sees the situation, it registers it. It assigns to itself. To the doer, supposedly, there are decisions made or actions taken, and immediately evaluates, makes an assessment of this action or event or situation depending on what informational accumulations it had. But again, it compares within a certain limited experience, which is conditioned by a huge number of factors and can have nothing to do with reality. This practically means that you can relieve yourself of the responsibility of the doer, because there is no doer. Thoughts arise in the vast, infinitely wise, eternal ocean of consciousness, which I recently mentioned. You are like a drop of this ocean, which looks from a certain point and is capable of analyzing and perceiving from a certain angle. This experience. This drop cannot decide anything. It cannot make a decision. Just conduct an experiment, right? If you have a situation that arises which requires your decision, try not to make that decision for some time, and you will see that this situation will resolve itself. Can you imagine without you? Incredible, isn't it? There is a phrase, everything happens in the perfect way, exactly as it was meant to happen. Everything will happen at the right moment. It's just mind-blowing. Translated into human terms, the message I'm trying to convey to you now is to back it up with some research. In general, I really hope that I was able to share with you some aspects that will help you find relief from this heavy burden of supposedly making the wrong decision, because there is no such thing as a wrong decision. You cannot make a wrong choice. If something happened in your life that you regret, just understand that you couldn't have done it differently. It's impossible, because in a world without duality, there can't be any other option. You are living perfectly. Optimal, and the only possible option for you. The scenario, because only the mind lives in duality. As soon as you start regretting the past, you are not living in the present. You are absent in the present. As soon as you emerge to the surface of the present, as soon as you focus on the moment, now, here, you will return to this ocean and at this very moment. You will feel such incredible relief. Just try it. You may not believe me, you may not believe science, you may have doubts. But guys, just check it out then. Try it so that you can say, yes, I tried it, it didn't work for me, or it did work. Write in the comments what you regret, what is holding you back. Switch from thoughts about the past and regrets to the present moment. What separates you from this relief? Besides the thought, I thank you for being with me. I really hope that this will give you the opportunity to look at your situation differently. I really hope that this helps you feel better. Thank you.